So it was in 2016, it was a Sunday. I had just completed a workout and it was kind of straining during that time. And I felt something, a pain in my chest.
She was just kind of like, oh, my shoulder kind of bothers me. I'm like, oh, really, you know? And then she just kept saying that it was bothering her.
Something I've never felt before in my life. I knew I had to pay attention to it.
I honestly didn't think it was anything. I'm like, she's young, she's healthy. You know, it doesn't happen. My grandpa had a heart attack when he was, 85.
From then on, things just moved very quickly. They took me by ambulance to Mayo Clinic. They took me up to EKG and could see that I was having a heart attack right away.
The shock of that lasted a long time, but we were lucky that we had, a good healthcare system, and they took care of her right away and everything seemed okay.
I thought I had led a pretty healthy lifestyle, and this still could happen. You really have to start to think about how you're going to live your life differently.
The most concerning thing about cardiac disease to me is that it respects no one, and it's the number one cause of death, number one cause of illness in this world and this country. Whenever a person has a heart attack, we try to get them into cardiac rehabilitation, which is not just exercise that's managed and controlled. It's also education about diet, education about stress reduction, education about things to do to make your life healthier.
So when patients come to cardiac rehabilitation, the team consists of multidiscipline providers. It starts at the hospital. They're visited by an exercise physiologist, one of our staff. We also have nurses, cardiologists, nutritionists, we have pharmacists. We actually have a social worker that works in psychiatry that visits with our patients. We just really focus on what's best for them, and we just slowly bring them through the process.
The integrative medicine program is something that's aimed at understanding all the different aspects of what causes a disease and how we can either prevent it or treat it once it's there. And it's not just the classic treatment of medicines, it's also things like over-the-counter medicines. It's things like food, things like physical activity, things like psychological stress. And if you don't take care of all those together, sometimes you end up focusing on a disease that just keeps coming back because you're treating the disease, not the underlying cause.
The Mayo Clinic is one of the most well-recognized hospitals in the world. Mayo Clinic means always doing the best for the patient and giving the best care possible with the best experts. The research conducted by Mayo Clinic across its sites from the US and internationally is really cutting-edge, leading clinical translational research. That not only is it about basic science, but it's also about translating it to the clinical scenario, to the patient, and bringing the benefit to the patient. There are trends for patients now using alternative practices and methods for improving their well-being. Healing our bodies in a holistic way is really integral to the values of the Mayo Clinic.
With the temporal study, we found that people are not relying so much on a pill as they used to, as they are in more mind-body things. The meditation, the yoga, the Tai Chi.
Now there's so much more bodies of research that talk about different modes of therapy. For me, I really had to learn how to meditate and do meditations and when to do that, and really strategically started to learn about stress management. I really focused on making time for more vegetables, more fruit in my diet. I regularly get massages. It really, really helps the mind and the body. After I started using integrative therapy and strategies, I just felt more educated about what my body needed. Most of the days I feel like $1 million.
My really big hope for the future is that we don't wait until people become patients to start to help them understand. We all have inside of us ability to change our health for the better. Nothing you do is ever too little. Nothing you do is ever too late.
Having her heart attack put a lot of things into perspective, and with any diagnosis that somebody gets, you just learn how to fully live in the moment and be thankful for the things that you have.
I'm appreciative of Mayo Clinic being a teaching college, a research college, and the forefront of so many areas of disease, to believe and start to think about integrative therapy as a part of healing process.
I'm just really glad that Julie's here, that Kenny has her other mom.
That's what I think about now. That's why I want to be healthy and keep working.